Okay, so today we've gotten together with one of my good friends, Sean Hutto with Movement Mortgage, and we're talking about something that there's a lot of confusion about because there are two terms out there that are used somewhat interchangeably. You're going to hear that if you're buying a house, you need to get out there and speak to a lender and get a pre-qualification, but you'll also hear that you need a pre-approval letter. So today we're going to be talking with Sean about what is the difference, and is there a difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval? Welcome back to my channel. This is Angela Lockett with Lockett Realty Advisors and Keller Williams Realty West Partners. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. That's perfect. Let me just introduce Sean. Sean, tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been doing mortgages.
Well, my name's Sean Hutto. I got in the mortgage industry back in 2001, and since then I have been, it's 20,000. Wow. 2019 is a lot like the year 2019, right, but a little more special.
Except more so.
And so, yeah, we've been involved in real estate and mortgages and financing throughout that entire time.
So a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge there. So
yes,
this is an easy question for you, right? So if I have a client and we want to buy a house, one of the first things I'm going to suggest is that they sit down and talk with their lender.
Excellent suggestion.
Exactly, because that's where the budget's going to be set, right?
Right.
It's no fun to get your heart set on a house and then find out that that's way outside your budgets. So let's just dive in then with this whole idea of a pre-qualification versus a pre-approval.
Okay.
What is the difference? And is there a difference?
Yes, there's absolutely a difference. And let me preface this with there is a lot of information out on the internet. You see them used interchangeably. You see different people put different definitions. And so the best way I can describe it is this. We're going to talk about three different things versus two. I'm going to add another whole other level on it, Angela.
Taking it to the next
That's
level.
right.
That's what I'm counting on you to do, Sean.
Hey,
that's great.
So we've got your pre-qualification, right? You need to be pre-qualified. Okay. You've got a pre-approval, which everybody wants that distinction, and then we'll add another layer on that, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. So what's it mean to be pre-qualified? Basically, that means that a loan officer has had a conversation, they have seen your credit, they've gathered the information verbally based on the information you gave me over the phone or in person. Okay. I just took your word at it, and I say, hey, you're pre-qualified to run out there. If everything you told me is exactly true, you shouldn't have any problem buying a home. Boom,
very good. You're
pre-qualified. Okay,
and how long does that typically take?
15 minutes.
Really?
However long it takes to run through the application, run it through, and it spits out the answer.
That's pre-qualification.
That's pre-qualification.
What is a pre-approval?
So when you want to get pre-approved, we then say, okay, so cool. Based on all this information, you should be good to go. Let's go ahead and verify that information and gather your income documents, your asset documents, and credit documents. The reason I'm being very general and saying income documents, asset documents, and credit documents is because that is a whole other video that we can go into to explain what each of those are, because they can get quite extensive.
We're going to have a series that people could binge watch.
That's right. That's right. In general, now I've gathered your pay stubs. I see that you make what you told me you would make. I see that you have in the bank what you told me you have in the bank. And we've answered any questions that may have arisen on the credit report. Now we can say that you're pre-approved.
Very. So what is that other level that you were talking about? What I'm finding is that I have buyers out there, anybody who's buying a home anywhere 225 down is facing some stiff competition. And so I've talked about that there are some things that we can do to make that pre-approval even more solid, to make that buyer even more attractive to a seller.
Absolutely. And this is going to be a rarity to find. It is something that we do. It is something that is tough to find in the industry, and that is for an underwriter to actually review everything we just talked about and sign off on that pre-approval. So now you have an underwritten pre-approval.
And this is before they've even decided on
And this is without an actual property. Okay, wow. So most underwriters won't look at it until you get a property. Absolutely. And a quick word of caution. You are going to see a lot of pre-approval letters out there. And more than likely, I only know this because I've been in this industry a long time. I have a lot of good friends. Many of those have never seen any income documents or asset documentation or any of the things that we spoke about. But when they print it out of their system, it simply says pre-approval at the top because that's what they say.
So Sean, how can we reach you if somebody is out there in the market and they want to talk to you about buying a house?
Easiest way is just to go to callhutto.com, CALLHUTTO, callhutto.com. That's me, and you'll find all my information, my phone numbers, etc.
Excellent. So, well, thank you so much for watching today. If you found this information helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Like it. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel by hitting that subscribe button down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Say some few things with the mic.
A few things with the mic.
It's your first time here. I wanted